The cargo bay was quiet when Dr. Lien Hayes entered it. She had only planned to check supply crates, but something felt strange. The lights were dim and the air smelled like dust and metal. She walked between stacked containers, her boots tapping softly on the floor. Then she heard it, a slow, weak sound like a large creature breathing with effort. Lien froze for a moment. The station was home to many alien species, and sometimes animals were transported for research. But this sound did not feel normal. She followed it until she reached a dark corner behind a row of cargo canisters. There, lying on the cold floor, was a creature she had never seen up close before. It was huge, shaped like a powerful feline, with striped fur that glowed faintly blue under the lights. His body looked strong, but now it was thin and shaking. It was a Raveran beast, a species many aliens feared. Most people said these creatures were fierce, wild, and impossible to tame. But this one did not look fierce. It looked tired. Its breaths were slow and heavy, and its eyes were barely open. Lien stepped closer very slowly, making sure she did not startle it. The beast watched her with dull eyes. It did not growl. It did not move. It only blinked once, as if trying to stay awake long enough to understand why a human was standing beside it. She knelt beside the creature. "Hey," she whispered softly. "What happened to you?" The beast's fur shivered as it tried to lift its head. It failed and let it fall back down. A soft, weak sound escaped its throat. It was not a threat. It was more like a plea. Lien felt something in her chest tighten. She had seen animals in pain before, back when she worked in Earth emergency clinics. But she had never seen something so big look so helpless. She noticed strange marks on the creature's skin, tiny punctures along its neck and sides. They were too organized to be wounds from a fight. They looked like signs of a parasite infection. She placed a hand gently on its shoulder. The fur was warm but trembling. The beast gave a small sigh as if her touch brought a little comfort. Behind her, the cargo bay door opened. 2 alien workers stepped inside, talking loudly, until they saw her near the creature. Their faces turned nervous. One of them, a tall insect-like alien, clicked its mandibles in warning. "You should step back, human medic," the alien said. "That Raveran beast is sick. Very sick. It has parasites. Deadly ones." Lien did not move away. "How long has it been here?" 3 days, the alien answered. "Its handlers left it. No one wants to go near it. The parasites are dangerous to many species." Lien looked at the beast again. Its body twitched weakly. She could tell it was fighting to stay alive but losing slowly. "Why hasn't anyone helped it?" The alien shifted uncomfortably. "There is no cure. Many tried in the past. All failures. It is better to keep distance and wait for it to pass." Lien shook her head. "That's not right. You don't just leave a creature to suffer." "It is dangerous," the alien insisted. "Even dying, it can hurt you." But Lien could feel something different. The beast was not dangerous now. It had no strength to attack. And even if it had, the look in its eyes showed no anger. Only pain and confusion. She whispered, "You're not trying to hurt anyone, are you?" The beast blinked again, slow and tired. It almost seemed like it understood her voice. It did not pull away from her touch. Instead, it leaned a little closer, resting part of its heavy head near her knee. "I need medical tools," Lien said, turning to the aliens. "Can you bring a scanner? And a water pack? Fresh, not recycled." The aliens looked at each other in surprise. "You want to treat it?" "Yes." "But why?" one asked. "No one has ever cured these parasites." Lien's voice was calm but firm. "Maybe no one tried hard enough. Or maybe they tried the wrong way. But I won't leave it like this." After a moment of hesitation, the aliens left to bring supplies. Lien stayed beside the beast, gently stroking its fur. She could feel the rising heat under its skin. Fever. Severe dehydration. Slow heartbeat. It was worse than she thought. "It's okay," she whispered. "I'm here now. I won't walk away." The beast closed its eyes, but not in fear. It seemed to relax just a little, as if it finally felt safe after days of suffering alone. When the aliens returned and handed her the medical scanner, Lien began working right away. She checked its heartbeat, scanned for parasite movement, and studied the creature's condition. The results were bad. Very bad. But not impossible. She placed a gentle hand on the creature's head. "We're going to fix this," she said quietly. "I promise." The beast gave a soft sound of trust. And in that moment, Lien knew she was not just treating an animal. She was saving a life no one else believed was worth saving. Dr. Lien Hayes stayed with the Raveran beast long after the cargo bay lights dimmed to night mode. She sat beside its huge body, watching the slow rise and fall of its breathing. Every few minutes the beast twitched as if something inside it was hurting. Lien knew that meant the parasites were moving again. Most people in the station believed these parasites were impossible to cure. They were called void leechers, tiny worm-like creatures that lived under the skin of large animals. They fed on body heat and energy, making the host weaker every hour. No medicine worked on them. No surgery could remove them all. Every known treatment ended in failure. But Lien was not ready to accept failure. She prepared her small portable lab kit, spreading tools on the floor beside her. She connected the scanner to her wrist pad and ran another deep scan over the beast's body. The screen showed dozens of bright red dots, each one a parasite. They were attached near nerves, feeding slowly like tiny patient thieves. The beast opened its eyes halfway and looked at her. Lien saw fear there but also trust. The creature seemed to understand she was trying to help. "Stay with me," she whispered. "I'm not giving up." A soft breath left the beast, warm and shaky. Suddenly footsteps echoed from the door. Commander Redhar, a tall reptilian officer, walked in with 2 guards. He looked annoyed. "Human medic," he said sharply. "I was informed that you are attempting treatment on the Raveran beast." "I am," Lien answered without stopping her work. Redhar shook his head. "This is a waste of time. These creatures rarely survive infection. Every doctor who tried has failed. It is better to let nature finish its work." Lien looked up at him. Nature didn't put it in a cargo bay to die alone. The commander frowned but did not argue. Instead, he moved closer and studied the scanner screen. His eyes widened. "There are too many parasites," he said. "Removing them will kill it." Lien nodded. "Yes, but leaving them will kill it too. So you accept there is no hope?" "No," she said firmly. "I accept that the usual methods won't work. Which means I need a different one." Redhar tilted his head, curious despite himself. "And what method is that?" Lien hesitated. She had an idea. One she had used once on Earth for a small creature infected by multiple parasites. It was risky. It involved using the host's own immune system, pushing it to attack the parasites directly. But she had never tried it on something this large or on parasites this strong. "I might be able to stimulate a hyperimmune response," she explained. "If the beast's body wakes up enough defenses at once, it could overwhelm the parasites." Redhar stared. "You would cause an immune storm? That could kill the creature faster." "Yes," Lien agreed quietly. "But doing nothing will definitely kill it. This is the only chance." The beast made a weak sound as if responding to her voice. It lifted its head slightly and nudged her arm. Even sick and weak, it was choosing to trust her. Redhar watched the interaction and exhaled slowly. "You humans are strange," he muttered. "Always fighting battles others have already lost." Lien smiled a little. "Maybe that's why we survive so much." She gathered her supplies. She prepared a set of injectors with small doses of stimulant and immune boosters. Her hands moved calmly even though her heart was racing. She leaned close to the beast. "This is going to hurt," she whispered. "But I need you to stay strong. I'm right here." The beast blinked once. It did not pull away. When Lien injected the first dose, the creature shivered. Its muscles tightened. She placed a hand on its neck, speaking softly to comfort it. The second dose made its breathing faster. The third made it release a low, pain sound. The monitors on her wrist pad started to react. Its body temperature rose. Its immune markers spiked. Small bursts of energy flickered on the scanner where the parasites were hiding. Redhar stepped forward. "The parasites, they are moving." "Yes," Lien said. "They're panicking. The immune system is waking up." The beast trembled harder, and Lien pressed her forehead gently against its head. "Stay with me, big guy. Don't stop. Fight them." Minutes passed like hours. The scanner showed parasite dots blinking out one by one. Not dying but retreating deeper under the skin. They were trying to escape the immune storm. "It's working," Redhar whispered. Lien felt hope rise but she did not celebrate yet. The beast's body was overheating. Its breaths were rough and loud. It was fighting but it was also suffering. She cooled its body with water packs, wiped its fur, and whispered steady words of comfort. After what felt like forever, the tremors slowed. The beast's breathing steadied, though it was still weak. On the scanner, half the parasite markers were dim now, not gone but damaged. Slower. Vulnerable. Redhar looked at her with surprise. No one has ever weakened the void leechers before. Lien gently stroked the beast's fur. "Good. Then this is only the beginning." The beast let out a long, exhausted sigh and pressed its head lightly against her leg. was still alive. And for the first time there was real hope. Dr. Lien Hayes barely slept that night. She sat beside the ravenous beast, watching every rise and fall of its chest. The first treatment had weakened the parasites, but it had also weakened the beast. She knew this was only the beginning, and the next steps would be even more dangerous. When the station lights shifted to morning mode, the beast opened its eyes. They were clearer than before but still heavy with pain. Lien gave it a small smile. "You made it through the first round," she said softly. "But the next one will be harder." The beast let out a quiet sound, almost like a rough purr. It understood her tone if not her words. Soon Commander Redhar returned with 2 med officers carrying supplies. He looked surprised to see Lien fully awake and still working. "You humans do not rest," he said, shaking his head. "Not when a life depends on it," she answered. Redhar stepped forward and checked the beast's vitals. "The parasite count is reduced but still high. You will proceed with the next phase." "Yes," Lien said. "Today I need to target the core cluster." Redhar stiffened. "The core cluster sits around the spine. If it reacts badly, the beast could lose movement, or stop breathing." "I know," Lien replied quietly. "But if I don't remove them, the parasites will recover. Then everything we did yesterday will be useless." Redhar studied her face. His expression softened just a little. "You have courage for such a small creature." She smiled faintly. "Humans specialize in stubbornness." She prepared her tools. This time she took out a narrow injector with a long silver needle. It was made for deep tissue treatment, dangerous if used wrong. Before she started, she placed her hand on the beast's neck. "I'm with you," she whispered. "You're not alone." The beast closed its eyes as if trusting her completely. She ran a final scan to locate the main cluster. The parasites had curled tightly together near the spine, forming a glowing red mass on the wrist pad screen. "Ready?" she asked softly. The beast exhaled, a soft breath that brushed her arm. She began. The injector slid carefully between thick muscle layers. The beast's body tensed, but it did not fight. Lien whispered calming words as she pushed the needle deeper. Redhar watched silently, his claws flexing in nervous tension. When the injector reached the target zone, the scanner beeped. Lien released the formula, a mix of heat shock anti-parasite serum and neural stabilizer. It was designed to stun the parasites without harming the host's nervous system, but no one had ever tested it on a ravenous beast. The reaction was immediate. The beast jerked violently, letting out a low roar that vibrated through the cargo bay. Redhar stepped forward, but Lien raised a hand. "Give it a moment." The beast's limbs twitched. Its back arched. The parasites were trying to escape the serum, trying to push away, break apart, scatter. The scanner lit up with frantic movement. "Hold on," Lien whispered urgently, placing both hands on the beast's side. The creature trembled harder. Its breath came fast and uneven. Its claws scraped against the metal floor. Lien leaned close, speaking gently. "You're stronger than them. You have to push." Redhar looked at the scanner and spoke in disbelief. "The core cluster is breaking. I have never seen parasites react like this." Lien kept comforting the beast, stroking its fur as the serum took effect. Finally the violent shaking slowed. The beast collapsed onto its side, panting heavily. Its huge body was covered in sweat like moisture. Lien scanned again. The core cluster was dim now, more than half the parasites stunned or dying. But the beast's heart rate was dangerously high. She rushed to cool its body, placing chilled cloths across its neck and back. She wiped away moisture and gently massaged the tense muscles. "It's okay," she whispered. "It's over. You did so well." The beast's breath slowly steadied. It nudged her hand weakly as if thanking her. Redhar watched all this silently. Finally he said, "You risked the creature's life and your own position. If the treatment had failed, you would be blamed." Lien sighed but kept her focus on the beast. "Some lives are worth risking for." Redhar studied her, his expression unreadable. "What? It is not your creature. It is not your duty." Lien glanced at him. "Because someone abandoned it. Someone decided it wasn't worth saving. I'm not going to be another person who walks away." For a long moment, Redhar was quiet. Then he stepped closer and placed one large clawed hand gently on the beast's shoulder. "Ravenous beasts do not trust easily," he said softly. "Yet this one, it looks at you like you are part of its pack." Lien smiled faintly. "I think it chose me the moment I refused to leave." The beast opened its eyes again, looking at Lien with tired gratitude. She stroked its head gently. "We're not done," she whispered. "But we're winning." The parasites were weakened more than ever. But the final round, the most dangerous treatment of all, still waited ahead. And both Lien and the beast would have to be even stronger to survive it. The beast opened its eyes for the first time in many days, and its golden pupils followed Ethan's movement. The change was slow but clear. The parasite wounds were closing. The beast could lift its head without collapsing. Every day Ethan returned to the cargo bay with medicine, clean water, and soft words. He spoke to it even though it could not answer. He talked about Earth, about his job, and about how every life deserved help. At first, the beast only watched him with fear and confusion. It growled weakly whenever he came close, but Ethan never stepped back. He kept his voice gentle. He moved slowly. He let the beast see everything he did. He wanted the creature to understand he was not a threat. One day, when Ethan placed a dish of nutrient paste in front of the beast, it did not growl. It sniffed the dish, looked at him once, and then started eating. It was a small moment, but Ethan felt like he had won a great victory. For the first time, the beast accepted something directly from him. Later, when he changed the bandages, the beast did not even lift its paw to swipe at him. Instead, it watched him with tired but calm eyes. It was learning that the human did not cause pain. He was trying to remove it. The alien crew kept their distance. Some could not believe a human was trying to save such a dangerous creature. Others whispered that the beast would attack him the moment it got strong. But over the days, those whispers grew quiet. More and more crew members came to peek into the cargo bay, shocked to see the beast lying still while Ethan treated it. A few even recorded the moment on their devices. They had never seen the creature so calm. They had never seen it allow anyone to touch it gently. Ethan did not care about their doubts. His focus stayed on the beast. He talked to it while cleaning its wounds, telling it how strong it was and how it was getting better. The beast listened, its ears flicking slightly at the sound of his voice. When he finished every session, Ethan would sit down beside it, close enough to show trust but far enough to allow space. The beast would slowly lower its head back to the ground, relaxing for the first time in what seemed like weeks. One evening, Ethan arrived with fresh bandages, but when he tried to reach for the creature's shoulder, the beast suddenly moved. Every alien watching panicked. They expected an attack. They expected teeth or claws. But the beast simply placed its heavy paw on Ethan's arm and held it there, not hard enough to hurt, but firm enough to stop him. Ethan froze, surprised. The beast looked at him, then gently leaned forward and touched its nose to his sleeve. It was not a threat. It was a request. It did not want treatment yet, it wanted comfort first. Ethan slowly extended his hand and let it rest on the beast's head. His fur was warm and soft. The beast closed its eyes and let out a deep, low rumble that sounded like a mix between a purr and a sigh. The crew gasped. Ethan smiled softly. This was trust. Real trust. The beast had accepted him completely. From that moment, everything changed. The beast no longer growled when he walked in. Instead, it lifted its head as if greeting him. When he treated it, it stayed still without fear. Sometimes it even pushed its head gently against his hand, asking to be petted. Even the alien captain watched with awe. The crew had abandoned the creature because they believed it was dangerous, unpredictable, and impossible to heal. But Ethan showed them something different. He showed them that kindness had power. Patience had power. Respect had power. One morning, when Ethan stepped into the cargo bay, he found the beast standing on its feet for the first time. It took slow steps toward him and lowered its head, touching his chest gently. Ethan placed both hands on its massive face. He felt the strength returning in its muscles, but he also felt calmness. No fear, no anger. Only trust. The alien crew stood nearby, speechless. They had never seen their abandoned creature show loyalty to anyone, especially not to a human. Ethan looked at them and said nothing. The beast's behavior spoke louder than anything. The bond formed in that small cargo bay changed the way everyone looked at humans. It showed them that humans were not just medics with tools, they were beings who healed with heart. And the beast, once abandoned and suffering, now stood tall beside the human who refused to give up on it. When the beast finally recovered, the entire station felt different. The creature, once weak, sick, and abandoned, now walked with slow but strong steps through the corridors. Its fur shone again, and the light had returned to its golden eyes. But what shocked everyone most was not the beast's recovery, it was the way it stayed close to Ethan, like a guardian that had chosen its own human. Whenever Ethan walked through the station, the beast followed behind him. It moved quietly, its tail swaying with calm confidence. The aliens who once avoided the cargo bay now watched in silence as the powerful creature walked by without harming anyone. Some even stepped aside respectfully, as if they understood they were in the presence of something noble. The crew had once feared the beast, but now they feared disappointing it, or disappointing the human it trusted. The alien captain called a meeting with Ethan one afternoon. The room was full of officers, all staring at screens showing the beast's recovery progress. They could not deny the truth anymore. No one in their species had ever cured the parasite infection. No one had ever gained the trust of this feline tiger-like beast. But a single human had done both. The captain thanked Ethan in a formal voice, trying to keep his pride intact. But it was clear he was impressed. He admitted that their species had given up on the creature because they believed it was too dangerous and too sick to save. Ethan only nodded and said he did what any human medic would do. The aliens looked at one another, surprised by his simple answer. To them it was not simple. It was extraordinary. Word spread quickly across nearby stations. Videos of Ethan treating the beast began circulating, showing the gentle way he cleaned wounds, the patience in his movements, and the moment the beast placed its paw on his arm. Other species watched these recordings and talked about humans in a new way. Some called them brave. Others called them strange. But most agreed on one thing: humans cared in ways others did not. Soon, alien scientists arrived to study the treatment Ethan had used. They wanted to know the medicine, the techniques, and the logic behind his decisions. Ethan explained everything step by step, but he also told them something more important. He said that healing was not only about medicine. It was about kindness, calmness, and earning trust. Some aliens did not understand this fully, but many tried to learn. The beast itself became a symbol. Instead of being known as a dangerous creature that no one could control, it was now known as the human-healed guardian. The aliens began to treat the species differently. They stopped abandoning sick beasts. They started researching cures. They built safe healing rooms. They tried to copy the calm way Ethan had cared for the creature. The beast noticed these changes too. It walked among its own kind again, but it always returned to Ethan's side. Sometimes it would rest its head on his lap while he worked. Other times it would sit near the station entrance, watching the corridors like a silent protector. The alien crew no longer feared it. Some even approached to offer food or gentle touches. The beast accepted them, but it always searched for Ethan first. One day the captain approached Ethan with a new request. Their homeworld had many beasts suffering from the same parasite. They wanted Ethan to come and teach their medics. They believed he could help save an entire species. Ethan looked at the beast standing beside him. It lowered its head and nudged him softly, almost as if encouraging him to go. Ethan agreed. Weeks later, he arrived on the alien homeworld with the beast walking proudly beside him. Crowds gathered, amazed at the sight. The alien doctors bowed. The sick beasts watched with hope in their tired eyes. Ethan began teaching the medics how to treat the parasite infection. He showed them how to calm the sick creatures, how to clean wounds gently, and how to earn trust through patience. Slowly, healing centers spread across the planet. More beasts recovered. More medics learned. The species, once seen as uncontrollable and doomed to die from sickness, now had a future. The Alien Council honored Ethan with a rare title, the human who changed a species. But Ethan only smiled and said he just did what felt right. The beast stayed by his side through it all. Once abandoned and suffering, it now stood tall, a symbol of hope, trust, and the power of kindness. And the galaxy began to understand what humans were truly capable of, not because of strength or weapons, but because of their heart.